Hello, baseball fans, and welcome to Target Field and the Class 3A State Championship game between the Hibbing Blue Jackets and the Waconia Wildcats. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us alongside Rod Stone and Chris Ohm. I'm Ryan Phelps. A great day for baseball, gentlemen. We'll start with Rod, who's representing the Hibbing Blue Jackets. What a day and what a way for your team to make it down here to state.
Yes, fantastic, Ryan. We're really appreciative to be here, and the kids, I guess they really don't understand the seed process here, so they're number 7 seed in the state tournament and also number 5, so they're playing ball. They love to play ball, and good luck to both teams, and hope we have some fun.
Chris Ohm representing the Waconia Wildcats, undefeated heading into today's final.
Yeah, they've had a nice run here. Waconia is a senior-led team, 6 seniors out there. You can see them being announced right now, but you know, they're focused on one thing, and that's doing what they can do today. But they know Hibbing isn't going to lay down for sure. And like Rod said, you get down in the stands right now, both these communities should be proud. They're cheering loud. They come from outside of the metro. Waconia just on that little suburb out there, and Hibbing coming about 3.5 hours. This is going to be an awesome game here today. We're looking forward to it, Ryan.
On behalf of the Minnesota State High School League, Grand Stadium, and Prep 45, I want to thank all of you for joining us here for the 2017 State Baseball Tournament, broadcasting all day today here on Grand Stadium. Again, Ryan Phelps, Chris Ohm, and Rod Stone here for the call of today's game. We'll send it over to the PA announcer and join you for the play-by-play here in just a few moments.
Right fielder Jake Anderley. Batting eighth, number 4, center fielder Jack Stoddard. Batting ninth, number 18, left fielder Ethan Swanson. Student manager Derek Feltman. Also Connor Sherwood. Assistant coach Josh Sell. Assistant coach Colin Bender. Head coach Mark Grundhofer. The Waconia Wildcats, let's play ball. The umpires for this game behind the plate, Brian Maurer. At first base, Tony Anderson. At third base, Jeff Schmidt.
All right, that was Dick Jonkowski with today's lineups. Waconia Wildcats in the yellow uniforms, white pants trimmed with purple. The Hibbing Blue Jackets, they are the visitors wearing their gray uniforms with navy blue. Let's start with the Hibbing Blue Jackets. Travis Caruth on the mound. Rod, what can you tell us about the young man?
Travis Caruth, a senior lefty. He's been pitching a lot of innings this both sections and the state tournament here, and very successful at it. Hopefully he's ready to go, which I'm sure he will. I feel real good when he's on the mound, and so do a lot of our fans.
Dillon Whittaker out there hurling for Waconia as he's taking his warm-up pitches. Alex Logelin, the catcher. Tell us about Whittaker, Chris.
Yeah, Whittaker is a 4-pitch pitcher. You know, he's going to use his fastball to control most of the plate. He's got a good curveball, and when he needs to, he'll go to those other ones, change up and slider. But Whittaker has been the ace this year for Waconia. He's definitely somebody that they've been riding on the shoulders of. He pitched that big first win in that state tournament victory when they needed to. Ethan Swanson came in and got the job done. But Whittaker's the guy that they're relying on. So, you know, you get to this point, you want to have your ace on the mound, and that's definitely it for the Wildcats.
Both teams having exciting semifinal wins, 1 run each over at Siebert. The Hibbing Blue Jackets waited the entire game to get the bats going, really, Rod.
Yes, we did, Ryan, and it was kind of clutch hitting and a little pitching there from Mr. Colden came in. He twisted the ball a little bit and saved us a little bit. So it was a very, very exciting win for us.
And also a 1-run victory for Waconia.
Yeah, you know, the 2 games have just been unbelievable. When you're undefeated, everybody's shooting for the top. That Matamidi game went to extra innings, ends up being a walk-off, and then that second game against Marshall, I mean, they come back in that last inning. That was just 2 unbelievable games, and we're hoping for one here today.
We're set to go. Dillon Whittaker pitching for Waconia. First pitch at 4:01 p.m. to Riley Versich in the batter's box. That pitch is a ball. 75 degrees here in downtown Minneapolis. A gorgeous afternoon. That one's popped up to the left side. Hendricks tracking in foul territory, back into fair territory now to make the grab. He squeezes for out number 1. That brings up Travis Caruth, the pitcher, so we'll have pitcher versus pitcher here in our second duel of the ball game, but a nice quick out for the Waconia Wildcats defense.
I imagine you're not going to see a lot of Whittaker's stuff here. He's going to work corners. He's probably going to use his fastball. We'll see curve every once in a while, but these first couple innings through the zone, you're probably going to see a lot of inside out, not a lot of changes to his delivery here, and just try to feel out those first 9 batters.
First pitch ball to Caruth as Whittaker kicks and fires. That one catches the outside corner. Evens things up at 1-1.
Looks like Travis is looking for a good strike to hit.
Looked like Caruth was showing bunt, pulled it back in time. Waconia 25-0 on the year. As Chris mentioned, a 2-1 9-inning victory in the quarterfinals over Mahtomedi. 7-6 win as that one's flared foul into the seats. That'll even things up at 2-2 with 1 away here in the top half of the first inning. They defeated Marshall 7-6 on Friday in the state semifinals as Whittaker offers up the 2-2 pitch. That one's high. Full count now, 3-2 to the pitcher, Travis Caruth.
I'd imagine Whittaker challenge him here a little bit. You know, you saw the curveball in that one off speed, but they're going to want to set the tone here from the mound.
Catches the inside corner, called third strike for out number 2.
You know, the thing about Whittaker is he does work the corners well. I know Coach Bender, the pitching coach with Grundhofer, the head coach, does a good job not exploiting a multitude of pitches, but trying to work corners early. And you know, you see that more often now, trying to lay off the curveball a little bit and just trying to use that changeup. And you see there for Whittaker using the hook, but he's really working the corners. And if Whittaker can get on, that'll keep Hibbing's guys on their back heels.
Designated hitter Zach DeBoom swings at the second pitch. It's now 0-2. No balls,
Zach,
2 strikes.
Zach is a multiple sport athlete here. He plays football and hockey also, so hopefully some of those extra talents will help him here.
Whittaker fires away. 1-2 the count now. 2 down here in the top half of the first inning for the Hibbing Blue Jackets. Whittaker catches a piece of it to stay alive. Rod, you mentioned before the game as we were chatting off air, what a great crowd here today, and a lot of purple for Waconia. Chris, you mentioned it's a growing town, about, 13,000 now, as that one's driven up the middle, grabbed by Whittaker, underhand toss to first, and that's out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for the Blue Jackets here in the top half of the first. A nice inning for Whittaker and the Wildcats. Kind of the way you draw it up, right, Chris?
Well, if you're going to draw it up anyway, you're going to draw it up 1, 2, 3. But again, you can't underestimate the nerves a little bit. Both these teams have accomplished much, and you know, Rod and I, and you were talking before the game about the atmosphere, getting to CHS, playing in US Bank. They've been on the big stage before. Target Field's a different feel, though. You got these 3 rows of massive seating around you here, so you know you get through that first inning. And if you can get through unscathed, people will settle down, look to be a good game. But if Waconia could draw that up, they would definitely take that 1, 2, 3 just like they got there.
I couldn't agree with you more, Chris. We got a battery going here with Lamphere, the catcher, and Caruth, they're pitching. They both do not like base runners, and hopefully we can compliment what you guys just did there.
You know, and I got a chance to hang out a little bit with both teams at the beginning of the game down in the hitting tunnel. Talk about just sportsmanship. They're down there talking about how great it's being here. The coaches are high-fiving each other. You know, the high school league runs such a good tournament. Kevin Merkel, who will be his last tournament actually,
right,
as the baseball director, is such a great guy, and it promotes the sport well. But I would tell you, these teams know how to get it done. These fans here, I mean, the Hibbing fans are coming in. You can see the signs and the kids. You know, is there anything better, guys, than seeing 2 programs that have youth baseball programs, and they're coming in and they're just jacked to see these guys play. I mean, that's what it's all about.
It's great. I was watching the crowd in the previous game. So many Piers and Minnehaha Academy fans leaving, and honestly, you couldn't tell who won and lost the game. I had to look at the scoreboard because so many fans were still just smiling, just giddy, just happy to be down here enjoying a great day of baseball.
Yeah, and we've had some great games here too. You know, Rod, we were talking about that win right before this. I mean, holy cow, 2 great games before this.
First pitch to Logelin, a strike, and now strike 2. The count is 0-2 from Caruth to the catcher, Alex Logelin. You can hear the crowd picking up here and mention that one's a ball. The crowd for Waconia, and obviously Hibbing a much further drive, but still a really nice crowd today representing the Iron Range. Flared right. This one's going to reach the seats.
Yes, right. And you see in that little drive we put on with probably 2,000 miles total, like Coach Jay was saying at the banquet there on Thursday, Friday, whenever that was, Wednesday, excuse me. Yeah, but the kids put a lot of time in on the bus, I tell you. And it kind of forces them to be a little close with each other, I guess, with a small bus that they do use.
That pitch high for a ball. 2-2 now the count. As Caruth kicks and fires wide. Full count now, 3-2 to the catcher, Logelin.
Yeah, Logelin is one of those guys that not your stereotypical leadoff hitter. You could probably put him in the 3 or 4 spot, but he has gained speed here as the years gone on.
That one's fouled straight back near our seats. That's rolling towards us. We'll jump down between innings maybe.
Rod's all over that one if it comes our way. I'm behind him, just so you know.
Well, guys, you know, one thing I did forget before I left Hibbing, I forgot my glove. I'm glad Dan Gland's not up here because he'd holler at me.
Driven to shallow right field. Knipes calling off Dury, and putting it away for out number 1. So 1 away for the Wildcats. That'll bring shortstop Justin Schultz to the plate.
You know, Logelin took that count all the way, full count. That's the kind of at-bat you want. If you're going to earn an out there, you want to make sure that it's going to be a 5-6 pitch at-bat. You started off nicely with that.
First pitch in there for a strike by Caruth. The Hibbing Blue Jackets, they are 19-8 on the season. Wins over St. Cloud Tech and Alexandria, as that one's driven to right as well. Knipes tracking, and it'll drop for the game's first hit. Schultz stops at first for a 1-out single for Waconia.
Yeah, you can hear the Waconia crowd yelling Juice. Everybody in Waconia knows him as Juice. Nobody calls him Justin. It's kind of funny looking at it. It's, you know, he got that nickname when he was little. It's from a juice box. Love juice boxes, and he got the old Juice going there. So, you know, if you can get that from the Waconia crowd, that's something special.
I thought Knipes had a play on it. I thought we might see a Torrey Hunter-like diving catch out there. As
I thought AK was playing a little safe there. I guess he's setting himself up for a double play here.
That's right.
And like I told you before, though, they don't like base runners, so we'll see what happens here. We have a lot of pickoffs this year, lots.
AJ Frederick at the plate. Takes first pitch high and tight for a ball.
You know, looking at the game before at Minnehaha Academy Piers, I think they were playing shallow. There was a bunch of triples in that game, so I think these coaches adjust a little bit, playing their outfield farther back. They're not going to want doubles and triples.
Caruth offers. Hit up the right side. It'll get through. Schultz rounding second, heading for third. The throw is not in time. And Frederick is in. I believe they'll call that a single. Gets the extra base as well, so runners at second and third now. And I thought they were going to have a play at him at second, but the third baseman, Michelson, held on to the ball and looked like he was, I don't know, perhaps confused about something. I'm not sure why the throw wasn't made down to second, though.
Yeah, heads up base running there, too. And you know, he sails that one over. It wasn't tremendously a bad throw. It just missed the cut there going to third. Juice with some wheels, but AJ picking up that secondary base there. That's a huge pickup.
So 2 runners in scoring position for Jake Hendricks. The ball gets away, sliding in. The throw down the third baseline. And the third base coach waving home Frederick. He decides to stay at third. 1 run will score, and the Wildcats have a 1-0 lead.
Hibbing's got to calm down just a little bit. It looks like nerves there. And, you know, they've been here. And, Roddy, I know you attest to this, too. They're a great team. But, you know, you have an opportunity where you don't want to let those runners advance too far and on that wild pitch scoring here. So just a little bit of jitters there, it looks like, for Hibbing.
Yeah, we've been behind 3-4-0 early in the games. And many, even in sections there, we had a couple-day game with rain delays. And Chris, you were talking about the fielders there, the outfielders staying way back. Here we got a second.
This one's fielded by Dury over to first for the out. The run will score as Frederick touches home plate. It's now 2-0 Wildcats. Bases are now clear.
But like you say, our fielders are playing a little bit too far out there. But I guess you have to push them back in order to play out there. We want them to push you back there, I guess. But we'll see what happens here now with 2 outs.
Here's the pitcher, Dillon Whittaker, bounces one foul.
Yeah, looking at that replay of that pass ball, looked like it was in the dirt there, but they're actually, you know, the run ended up coming in on the sacrifice on that one, but they were lucky there. You did see, and Ryan, you were mentioning Grundhofer was waving him in there. So
driven down the right field line, foul. Going to be strike number 2. 2 away here. Bottom half of the first inning, the Wildcats leading 2-0 early over Hibbing.
And this catcher, number 22, Jamin Lampers, played every inning for 2 years except one. And that one time was when he was pitching that inning. So he's got lots of experience here, and he's a very good receiver.
So he can't do both at the same time, Rob?
Yeah, we've been trying that,
all
but
right.
it's
working on that yet.
Working on that. It's
someday. 1-2 pitch. In there for strike 3. And that'll end the inning, but the Wildcats score twice to take a 2-0 lead through 1 inning of play. 1 strikeout for the pitcher, Caruth. That matches what his counterpart did in the first inning. 1 strikeout for Whittaker. We'll exchange scorecards. Mine's very unofficial. I am not an expert scorekeeper. So the Hibbing Blue Jackets, as I mentioned, 19-8 on the year. State quarterfinal win against St. Cloud Tech, 9-4. In the semis, they beat Alexandria by a score of 8-7. Interesting, too, about that St. Cloud Tech team. It's the 70th anniversary of their first ever trip to state, the first ever state tournament, I should say, in which St. Cloud Tech won the state baseball tournament.
Yeah, those are always good little stats like that. I love, talking about, history. Baseball is such a historical sport, right? You think about, you look out here, and I bet you the 3 of us, we all have different thoughts of the Kirby Puckett and Harmon Killebrew, right? But, man, Minnesota Town Ball, those things are what makes Minnesota kind of unique, I would say, about baseball. It's such an entrenched sport in Minnesota like that. And
you're talking about the St. Cloud Tech game. We offered to see Trevor Koenig there pitching. He was picked in the 40th round. When kids didn't know what to expect there, but he's a pretty tall guy, 6'5", 6'11". And so our coaches, I guess, that morning put up a couple of barrels on top of the pitching machine so the release point was a little higher. So
good idea.
I don't know if it helped the kids or it was something different. So go ahead, Ryan.
Lamphere starts out for Hibbing here in the top half of the second inning. Waconia undefeated on the season, leading Hibbing 2-0 here in the Class 3A finals. Ryan Phelps along with Chris Ohm and Rod Stone, strike 1. That'll even the count at 1-1 now to Lamphere. Whittaker quickly back to work. That pitch low and away. 2-1 now the count. So fun too to get out and watch some town ball, to get out and watch some high school baseball and even youth baseball. As much as I think we all love the Twins, that one's driven to the left side. It gets through Schultz, and Lamphere will reach. Hibbing has their first base runner of the ball game. It's so much fun, as I was saying, to get out and watch these teams. As much as we all love the Twins, the game is so much quicker at this level, and not so much time in between pitches.
Town ball is huge. It competes with Legion, it competes with other sports, the Cal Ripken's, Bay Ruth, but boy, every town, Ryan and Rod, they have that town ball feel. So, and most of these guys, if you're seniors, you're probably playing some form of town ball.
That one popped up by Austin Glad into the Seats behind the third baseline. Oh, dropped by a Hibbing fan, Rod. Better get down there. He didn't have his glove either.
He didn't bring his glove either. I have a little bias here. This is my grandson up here, of course, and he started playing ball real late. In fact, in the backyard, I was actually showing him, he was showing me how to throw the ball. And it was kind of a funny deal. I was throwing, he hit the mitt every time. I says, Austin, you want to play baseball? And he says, I don't know how to play baseball. We'll take care of that. And now here it is.
Here he is playing.
That's going to be a proud moment for you, Rod, huh?
It's unbelievable.
Good work. That's what it's about, right?
Thank you. It's right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But he's at the highest batting average in the team, and he's working at it.
Now go take out the trash, right, and wash the dishes. Huh?
Whittaker up on Glad.
Yeah, for 20 bucks.
0-2. Up on Glad 0-2 now. Runner on first is Lamphere. And now timeout called. There's a long delay there. Just as I was complimenting him on how quick the game goes.
Right. And, you know, sometimes those are called in too. You know, again, very, very methodical about that. You know, you could call that delay from the dugout.
Sure.
So trying to switch it up a little bit, you know, resetting the pitcher.
Breaking ball is high. 1-2 now to Glad.
Yeah. Monkey with his rhythm a little bit. That's
That one will fade foul. Still 1-2 now to Glad. What a nice job they do here too with the players' pictures up on the scoreboard. Just a nice feel. Done well. That one's scalded down the right field line, foul.
Yeah, I know my wife would say, hoping the players were smiling when they were taking their pictures there at the sections.
Well, Grandma, you better get a better picture up there because I'm looking at it and it doesn't look like a smile to
He's
me.
Focused. He's focused. He's focused. That's all.
That is one focused kid right there, huh?
Very serious. So it's still a 1-2 count to Glad. Nobody out here. Top half of the second inning. Waconia leading 2-0. Hibbing with a runner on. Fouled off again. Nice at-bat so far for Glad. Staying alive.
You know, those are the at-bats you want if you're Hibbing. And not just saying this, Rod, because he's your grandson, but you got to put the bat on the ball. Make those pitchers go deep in the count. You know, he may produce here, which would be great for Hibbing, but he has already done his job producing a lot of pitches.
Breaking ball.
I
Was a
agree with
ball.
Chris said we did the same thing in the last game we played. There, it took a long time for he got an RBI and a sack. So hopefully something comes out of this.
And to your point, Chris, a very short first inning for Whittaker. That one's in there for a strike through and one away against the Hibbing Blue Jackets.
You know, talk a little bit here, shifting gears, we'll talk about Alex Logeland behind the plate. You know, he's known for a strong arm. He actually started off playing the infield. Wasn't his natural position. They put him back there, but during the sections and the state run that they've had, he's throwing out a number of players, and I think the scouting report's out. You're seeing coaches maybe take a step and a half back towards the base when he's there. That's such a strong thing to have, and Whittaker can pop that ball when he needs to too. So, you know, if Hibbing can run on Logeland, that's a big plus for them, but we'll see if they have the courage to go on him.
This is Anthony Knipes at the plate.
Yes, Anthony, he is a three-sport athlete. We don't see that too often no more in this generation of sports now, but most of our guys are doing that. I'll let this guy pitch here first. See where we're going. No.
So Whittaker with a 1-1 count. One away here. Top two. Lamphere on first. That one's hit to the left side. Schultz is there, scoops it up to 2 for 1. No, it's dropped. Ball was dropped. Lamphere will reach safely, as does Knipes. One away and 2 on for the Blue Jackets.
Chris, I think both of our teams are got a little jitters here. What's going on?
You know, exactly. Yeah. When you settle down, and I did get a chance to see Hibbing play their 2 games, but the 2 games that Waconia played at Siebert Field, they did have the same MO. They came out a little bit sloppy, and it wasn't a fact that they, you know, listen, errors are happening. Baseball's a flawed game with that, and errors do happen, but you can see those are plays that should be made. Both teams are right now on the back heels a little bit, wondering we got to get through that. So kind of tit for tat here when it comes to early mistakes here in this game.
And
Dillon Mattson now at the plate.
And I did see your team play that last game to get you here. I will watch the end of it there. And in fact, we had an infield hit in right field there. The guy let it drop in front of him, but he came back, and I believe he was the winning, scored the winning run.
That's right. Yeah, Robbie Smith, the guy who dropped the ball.
Right.
So you just never know.
No.
Listen, these two teams know what 21 outs go all the way to the end. They're going to be right there to the end. They're going to let it shake off, and this is going to be game to the end.
Swinging at strike 3 was Dillon Mattson. 2 away now for Hibbing here in the top half of the second inning. This will bring up Andy Michelson, the third baseman. He's got runners on first and second, both reached by Waconia errors.
You may see a little adjustment. Yep, I was just going to say, you can see the coaches coming out right now. You know, they're going to say we're going to play off a little bit. They're going to not want that runner from second to score, so they're, you know, infielders probably going to play that depth where they're thinking that, you know, don't let him score, but outfielders, no doubles, keep it in front of you, making sure that those runners stay.
Whittaker fires.
Andy here, Michelson now up the bat there. He's got a sweet swing. Hopefully he can get this going here.
Pitch in there for a strike count now, 1-2 for Michelson and the Blue Jackets with 2 away here, top second.
I would imagine here you're going to see Whittaker go straight gas on this one. It won't be in the zone though. You'll see some outside.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Blue Jackets are down here in the top half of the second inning. They get 2 runners on, however, no hits as of yet, as both reached by error. But Whittaker does a nice job of settling down, digging in, and he strikes out 3 batters there in the second inning. So now Waconia back to the plate as they plated 2 runs back in the first inning.
Well, you know, if you're Waconia now, you've seen both teams bring their players into the huddle. You saw the coach for Hibbing that last inning bring them in. They're both giving the same message. Guys, we've done what we've needed to do. We got those jitters out. Don't worry about it. Let's play baseball. It's the same atmosphere. You could see the body language from Hibbing last inning when they left the field. They said, okay, let's go do this. Same thing now in Grundhofer and Waconia. They brought him in. And like you said, Ryan, you know, and Rod, you mentioned it too, that Robbie Smith got that game-winning hit against Marshall. He makes the error there. Baseball's a flawed game. He's leading off now. We'll see what kind of temperament he brings to the at-bat here. You know, does it shake off or does it let it bother him? And the teams that end up winning the state championship, whether it's Hibbing or Waconia, they let those things roll off their shoulders. Don't worry about it. Go play baseball.
Say go play baseball. It's a very good idea. These kids, I don't even know if they're sometimes they're nervous, if it's nerves or not. Sometimes I don't think so. Sometimes they just say, well, let's go play. I know our team likes to play, so hopefully that's over with, and this second inning will be a little better here.
Yeah,
Jamin's got a heck of an arm there. There we go. Go ahead.
One of the MOs of the teams that get to this level in any sport, and Ryan can attest this too, and Rod, you see it in hockey, the teams that just go play. And those are the ones that are going to go after the championship. They're not pressing. They're not worried about things. So, you know, it's just fun. I mean, what a great atmosphere again. I know we've pressed that a lot here today, but these teams are out here representing both the communities really well and having fun doing it.
Robbie Smith up to bat for the Wildcats here in the bottom half of the second inning. The second baseman takes the first pitch inside for a ball. That one's well inside, ball 2. Earlier today in the Class 1A state championship game, Parker's Prairie defeated Legacy Christian by a score of 6-3. In Class 2A, that one's driven to the gap in right center field. Extra base is likely for Robbie Smith. It's scooped up by Knipes. Smith is in with a leadoff double here in the second inning.
Well, we just talked about Robbie Smith dropping that ball. You didn't see a lot of angst out of him, and what does he do? He comes up and hits a double, so those things get erased right off the bat with that swing.
Yeah, we're talking about pressure here, you know, and if anything here, Waconia has the pressure on being undefeated. Sometimes that puts pressure on you, more pressure on a team that just sit there ready to play the ball, but Waconia sure doesn't look like they're under pressure right now.
Designated hitter Ross Lieberman up to the plate. Runner in scoring position. Driven to center. Colden tracking back. He stepped in initially, reaches up for the grab. Heading this third base from second is Smith. And so the sacrifice fly puts the runner on third with one away here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Yeah, Ross Lieberman's DHing for Anderle, and both teams are using the DH today for position players out there, and that's when you get to this moment, you want to put your best hitters on the field. Normally during the season you won't see that. Usually if you're going to go play center or right, you're going to let them go, but the DHs today are being used for position players, and for Waconia, Ross Lieberman is DHing for the right fielder Anderle.
So Jack Stoddard, the center fielder, to the plate. I mentioned Parker's Prairie champs in 1A. Minnehaha Academy defeated Piers 6-4 in 2A. To shallow right center. Reaching up was Dury, couldn't make the grab. That will plate another run, and Waconia, as Smith crosses to touch home, has a 3-0 lead.
Looks like that one is in no man's land there for a while. And,
tough spot.
There's a little communication or something or what happened there. Hopefully.
We talked about those outfielders playing a tad deep. It's not as if that was a ball that was tremendously hit, but it went in that no man's land.
Yep.
Both runners here, you'll see it kind of gets crossed up between the second baseman. He puts a great effort out there. But when you got converging left fielder or right fielder and center field rather, you kind of pull off there, and that's what ended up happening.
And it looked like Dury, he did pull up a little bit, and I think maybe perhaps a little more communication between the players was needed on that.
You always think that fielder should be also he's seeing a better view of that ball when you're coming in.
Runner goes, the throw to second is in time.
I was just going to say I wouldn't be surprised if Stoddard goes first move here. Waconia does some unorthodox running, it's just not straight steal. They'll go delayed steal in first move, and sure enough, off the lefty here. And Rod, you mentioned it, great pick off there. Hibbing is really good at picking off. Really nice move over there, got Stoddard. He's really quick runner too.
Ethan Swanson, left fielder at the plate. Just a sophomore for Waconia. He faces a 1-1 pitch from Caruth. To the left side, foul.
Swanson, the only sophomore for Waconia playing. He actually emerged mid-season when they got a win against Edina. He's been marginal as far as playing is concerned, but all of a sudden towards the end of the season, he has been one of the hottest pitchers and players for Waconia. So in a senior-led team, he's punched through as a sophomore.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and the Wildcats are out here in the bottom half of the second. But they score on the run. Robbie Smith touches home to make it 3-0 Wildcats. As we head to the third, you're watching live coverage of the Class 3A State Championship game here on Prep45.com. Ryan Phelps, Chris Ohm, Rod Stone with the call. Coming up at 7 o'clock tonight, Forest Lake taking on Eden Prairie in the nightcap. Class 4A State Finals will have that game as well here on Prep45.com.
Hey, Chris and Ryan, remember, this year we introduced the Minnesota State High School League. Got the pitch count. I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to save a lot of arms. Because I've been a Little League coach for many, many years, and I've seen kids that they were done at 13, 14 years old, their elbows were hurting. I think this is a good thing. I see in tournaments, and now they extended that 10 more pitches to a total of 115. So I don't know what your take on that.
Well, coming from just the coach's perspective, I think most coaches would favor it. It's hard not to favor saving kids' arms. I think you're dead on that one. You're even starting to see Little League fields, Metro Baseball, around the St. Cloud and getting up to Hibbings and down where Waconia, they usually monitor by innings type of pitch. It's not too far-fetched that this is, within a year or two, it's going to be pitch counts. I think it's a great idea. Yes. It definitely changes the dynamics of coaching, though, and you see that as the season goes on.
It really does, and they get a little strategy, it's And here's our number 5 is the Will Dury. He's our only sophomore on the team, multi-sport athlete. Very, very talented kid.
Schultz scoops, throws, and out number 1 just in time here in the top half of the third inning as Dury is retired.
You're getting back to the pitch counts, Rod and Ryan. I think that you have seen more now where coaches, they're not planning per se for it, but when you get to that number, and you know the kill number is like 105 or whatever they get up to that, you're starting to see pitchers adjust. They're going to have to make pitches for strikes, right? So it's not necessarily coaches thinking about it. You may be calling in, and what does that lead to? Batters now know, hey, this guy's getting ready to get out. He's going to have to throw a strike here. So
back to the top of the order, Versich hits to the right side. Smith scoops and grabs and fires for out number 2. That was, by the way, Whittaker's 39th pitch of the game. 11 balls, 28 strikes. Carruth threw 2 innings, 28 pitches, 9 balls and 19 strikes.
Well, you're seeing their best pitches right now, and I got to imagine Carruth, you saw it with that high fastball that led off with the 3rd out against Swanson. These guys are starting to get dialed in. You know, these mid-innings here, we're going to see if they play flawless. I wouldn't be surprised here, innings 3 through 6, if we see zeros up there all the way. Those 2 pitchers are getting dialed in.
Great point, Chris. You know, Carruth himself gets real strong in the middle of the game there, and even at the end, he's a little tiger with that, and hopefully that we see that.
Pitcher versus pitcher now. 2-0 the count from Whittaker to Carruth. That pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2 with 2 down here. Bases clear in top 3.
Yeah, Whittaker is going to go to Winona next year to pitch. His brother is actually pitching at Concordia right now in St. Paul. So 2 Whittakers playing college baseball.
Schultz over to Frederick. Nice scoop on the play for out number 3. And the Jackets are down in order. So 6-3, 4-3, and a 6-3. Jackets are hitting the ball in play, but the Wildcats, despite 2 errors in the 2nd inning, done a nice job here shoring things up in the 3rd. 3-0 the score as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Wildcats.
Wildcats are going to bring up the top of the order coming up here. Alex Loughlin. You know, talk a little bit now that we're into the game. That's 6 seniors that are leading Waconia. A lot of these guys are moving on to play some college sports. Loughlin, who ended up being one of the Metro players, making that 2nd team ballot, he's going on to Wayne State. Justin Juice Schultz, who just made that out, he's actually going to wrestle at more at Mankato State.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you know, he's and the little fact between those 2 is they both are state wrestlers. So, you know, it pains me to say as a basketball guy, but those wrestlers are 1-2 on top. And I know that all my basketball buddies are choking right now. Listen to me give all those props to the wrestlers. But
yeah.
But Loughlin and Schultz and A.J. Frederick, the first baseman, Upper Iowa, going to play baseball. Jake Hendricks is going to play football at Southwest at Marshall. Dillon Whittaker, like I said, at Winona. So, you know, these guys, and I could belabor the most important point about this Waconia team, but these 6 seniors, holy cow, they've been with each other since 5th grade. They've done all these things together. What you talk about, and Rod, I know you can attest, I bet you people like this in Hibbing, their parents and the community that rally around those seniors and everybody, it's just unbelievable. Good people. I mean, you want your grandsons and you want your sons to grow up like those guys. And, you know, I could tell you right now, looking at those Hibbing guys out there, those are good people. Those are good parents, good people. I mean, I get excited when I see the quality of baseball and the leadership behind those guys.
Well, thank you there, Chris. Nice compliment. We were just talking about that. We got 9 seniors on that field they're all starters there. And we were playing a game against Superior. We play a lot of those teams, of course, during the season. We ran into a pitcher, as Justin Rentke. Although he's from Superior, but could throw the ball pretty good and almost touched the 90s. And I asked the coach, where is he going? And he says he's going to play community college baseball in Iowa.
Right up the middle off Carruth. Off the bat of Loughlin, and he'll reach safely with a lead-off single, and hopefully Carruth is all right. Might have caught him in the arm. Sun's coming out now.
Getting back to that community baseball there, a lot of these kids can't afford or can't go to a four-year college sometimes. At least they get to play at a higher level. Hopefully that'll keep going, and we can have some more baseball at that level also.
Coach coming out to check on Carruth.
Yeah, Loughlin got some wood on that one. Looks like Carruth is all right. and that's good because you want him on the mound. You know, this first pitch will tell you he gets back into it too. It's hopefully he's there. It's one of those things you don't want to knock a guy off the mound and have him out. You want him out there competing, and it looks like Caruth is going to do that.
Chris, he's a football quarterback, so.
Awesome. Now we're talking my language there, too.
Justin Schultz at the plate for Waconia, a leadoff single for Logelin. And the Wildcats back in business, already up 3-0 here over Hibbing. Caruth from the stretch, bunt shown, pulled back, strike called anyways on the outside corner.
Looks like green light there for Caruth, doing all right.
Not much wind here today. You look at the flags in the outfield, some of them hanging loose. A few of them, you see the Tigers flag.
Yeah, they're going to call a balk here.
They are calling a balk. So now Logelin heading to second on the balk. So another runner in scoring position.
We might get a chance here to see if we get a replay on this, if it was a double move or not. But that umpire was right there, so they'll shift the umpires out. But
driven to center, Colden retreating, makes the catch. Heading to third is Logelin, and he'll reach. Another sacrifice, puts a runner on third for Waconia.
You can hear the juice chants again out there, giving the juice out there. But again, I would dare to say, unless you're playing in an unorthodox stadium in Minnesota, this is probably one of the deepest parks you're going to see here. So, you know, going back to the balk here, let's see if there was a double move.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't know if that was actually the one or not there, but yeah, I think that it might have been the pitch. It would be prior to that because he didn't deliver on that balk.
So Frederick now at the plate facing the Caruth 0-1 pitch. Hit to the left side, fielded by the shortstop. He's going to make the play at first. They retire Frederick. Logelin scores. It's now 4-0 Waconia.
Well, there's guys doing their job again, A.J. Frederick. So I got Waconia down for 4 sacrifices here already in the game, advancing runners over. So good baseball is going to be a team sport, and you want to make sure that you do that. After that balk, Juice goes out to the sack there, and then A.J. comes in with the sack to get the run in. Another one on the board there for Waconia.
Small ball. No one skipped in the dirt.
I don't know if anybody's ever said small ball to these Waconia batters all year, and I am going to take you on that because they're up there. I rarely think, Ryan, like, boy, they should bunt that guy over, or they should do some small ball. And there you go, small ball right there. So that might have been the first reference of small ball in the history of this season for the Cats.
25-0. I'm sure they've done it in a variety of ways this year. The 2-0 pitch fouled off. As Jake
that was
Hendricks.
a little slow ball, raw ball to Tversich there. I was kind of surprised that he got that ball. It was kind of a touch and go there. He did like on a good stretch on the first. So.
Caruth fires, driven to left center. Mattson looks like he'll call for it. Gathers it in for out number 3. And the Wildcats are down here in the third. They add another run, 2 in the first and 1 in each of the second and third innings. 4-0. Waconia leading Hibbing as we head to the fourth. So Hibbing now. All right, back here at Target Field, top four, Hibbing at the plate. Whittaker kicks and fires as he delivers a first pitch strike to the designated hitter, Zach DeBoom. Ryan Phelps here with Chris Ohm and Rod Stone. Pleased to have you with us on this beautiful Monday afternoon in downtown Minneapolis.
Well, I don't think 0-2 right now. You're not going to give DeBoom anything. My gosh, that swing looked like he wanted to put it about 400 over that left field gap there.
That one's fouled off. Count remains 0-2.
Yeah, he had a little dinger there in the section playoff, went over the wall, and hopefully we can get something going here. Designated hitting for Colden in center field.
That one in the dirt for a ball, 1-2 now. Going back to the pitch counts, 47 for Whittaker so far, 39 for Caruth. That pitch low again for a ball, 2-2 now, the count even against DeBoom. Swing and a miss, strike three, and one away for Hibbing.
Whittaker's settled down here a little bit. He's mixing up his curve and fastballs here, keeping the batters a little bit on their back heels. But again, 4 pitches, but he relies heavily on the curve. You'll see the slider change a little bit, but nice mix up there with the fast coming out, in and out on the batter.
Whittaker's 5th strikeout of the game as Jamin Lamphere comes to the plate, takes first pitch strike. That one low, 1-1 now.
Just talking about a small ball there. Maybe we can do a little bunting here. Jamin, I don't know what's in his up their sleeves.
That one's driven to the right side, fielded by the second baseman, kicked by Smith, and reaching safely is Lamphere. The ball sharply hit, and a nice quick move to his left by Smith to try to make a play on it. I'm guessing this will be an error.
Yes.
Against Smith, it is indeed. They just put it up to the 3rd error of the game now for Waconia.
The second time Jamin got on 2 errors.
That's right. He reached in the 2nd inning and then was moved to second on an error when Knipes put the ball in play. So 1 away now for Austin Glad. He struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. That one's driven to center. It'll land safely for the Jackets' first hit of the ball game. They've got 2 on, 1 on first, another on second with 1 away.
Well, and this is the Hibbing team that everybody knows in the state tournament here. They can hit the ball, and if you leave that up in the zone, Hibbing's going to be 1 through 9 batters. They're going to jump on that, and that's why they're at where they are now, is because they came through with some clutch hitting. So Whittaker, who's pretty much sound as far as corners and the ability to be inside out, got to keep those balls down, or Hibbing's going to keep capitalizing and putting those things in the gap.
You're right, Chris, and they're a pretty disciplined hitter. Sometimes they get to that point. Sometimes at a loss, they take a few strikeouts that way, but being disciplined sometimes helps.
So the grandson gets a hit here on Target Field.
I didn't see Grandpa jump out of the stands.
I'll
cheer for you.
I'm supposed to be as biased as heck, I think. We got to do inner.
Listen, there's no biasy there. You got to give him everything you got, Grandpa.
That one's tipped back for a strike. 1-1 now the count. 1 away here to Knipes. Runners on first and second. Whittaker kicks and fires. That one's going to land safely as well. Runner held up at third. Bases loaded now as Knipes hits a 1-out single.
We get a little hit rally going here for Hibbing, and that's a good thing to get it going. Whittaker, who is pretty sound in his spot pitches, is leaving that right in the middle of the zone. So we'll see here if they try to pitch around Mattson a little bit here in the bottom of the order. But Bender, the pitching coach, here coming out.
So Dillon Mattson, who struck out in the 2nd inning, comes to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 away here for Hibbing in the top of the 4th.
And Dillon Mattson here, he used to be playing an infielder last year, 2 years ago. He had an injury that kind of kept him out last year. So he's coming back on that action. Now he's in the left field. So he's another hockey player on the team, and he's good eye-hand coordination. He's a pretty good athlete. real good athlete, in fact.
Well, this visit to the mound here, guys, this isn't about going out there and asking Dillon Whittaker what's going on. They're setting their defense up here. So, really good hitting by Hibbing. They're telling their corners, you want to come up, we're going home. Loughlin just pointed, and they're going to pinch the middle. So, a lot of people think, oh, you're going to go out and settle Dillon Whittaker down. You're not settling your ace down. You're out there setting your defense. So just a reminder for everybody to say we need to do what we do if it's a ground ball.
Yep, first and third baseman in. First pitch away for a ball to Mattson. So 1-0 the count. Swing and miss, 1-1 as Hibbing is looking for their first run of the game. Sun peeking through.
That's right. I see the shadow is starting to creep up now. It's going to be maybe effective. The batters after a while.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's mostly cloudy here today. Wind looked like it's picking up a little bit. It's coming out of the north over the left field bleachers. 1-2 count. Popped up, foul. Nearly playable for Rod Stone.
That was a good good at bat. You want to be protecting in there right now. Don't want to look at that third strike if you're the Hibbing at batter. That zone gets big with 2 strikes here, and you got to do what you got to do. So he fends that one off.
1-2 pitch followed straight back. So it'll remain 1-2.
2 mixes there, a fastball. That one outside, the one prior to that inside. You're going to see something off speed here a little bit, trying to get him on his heels with a 1-2 count.
Breaking ball tight inside.
As he evened up the count, now hopefully gets a little more room.
Well, that was a good pitch to lay off. Boy, that's disciplined hitting up there, because that's a hard one to lay off of if you see the fastball.
That one's driven to center. Stoddard coming in. The runner will tag. Catch is made. The throw off target. Nicely backed up behind home plate by the pitcher Whittaker. A run scores, and Hibbing is on the board. It's now 4-1.
Well, he did his job. He got up there and he did the sac fly. That was definitely playable if Stoddard comes up clean on that one, but it was just to the right of the mound there. A.J. Frederick coming out and trying to pump fake and got that guy to hold. Actually, Loughlin missed the ball in that one. I thought he could take off, but the age-old adage, never get that third out at third. He missed wisely on there, because if you get a base hit, he scores anyway. So did his job, got that run in.
So runners on first and second as Michelson follows off the first Whittaker offering. 0-1 the count. Glad on second, Knipes on third. Pitch is inside and hit to the left side. They get the force out at second for out number 3. The Jackets get one on the board on the sac fly by Mattson, who played slam fear. It's now 4-1. As we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, Waconia up by 3. And maybe an added little jump in the step for the Jackets as they head into
We
the
hope so. We hope
field.
so. We hope so, right? Because we're going to need this. These games in high school are fast. Only 7 innings, and all of a sudden, boom, you're right there at the 7th inning. So it's you have to do things quick.
Well, Hibbing proved they could score even if they needed to very late in the game to catch up. They did that in the semifinals.
Absolutely.
What, 5 runs in the 7th?
That's right. And in fact, we were behind 3-0 going into the 4th inning in the sections, and the rains came, and the field was underwater in Grand Rapids, and so it delayed the game. And Denfield had to graduate the next day, so we picked up the game 2 days later. And they were top of the 4th, 2 outs, and our first pitcher we got him out, and we went up to bat and took the lead 5-4, and after that was 13-7.
Never
Our time was
back.
done. So, yeah, it took a little rain delay to help us out there to get here. So, well, what we can do it, I guess, it is sometimes that happens in baseball, and you never can quit. hopefully Caruth can put them down in order here and get back up.
Well, the pitcher will lead off. Whittaker, 66 pitches now on the game. Caruth, heading into his 4th inning, has thrown 39 times so far. That one's popped up to shallow center. Second baseman Dury jumps to make the catch for out number 1.
1 pitch, 1 out. I mean, that's the way when it started off. You talked about Caruth settling down there a little bit, but as a pitcher, there's nothing better to get that first out on that first pitch. It settles everything down for you. So Whittaker pops out shallow there to the second baseman.
Save it a pitch count, Chris. Save it a pitch count. You know.
Robbie Smith fouls off the first pitch. We're going to get one today, I think. Take home a ball.
That's right.
I'm going to get it signed by that grandson before I leave if I catch it. That's my goal. So
good call.
Yep, if I get it, we're going home with a Hibbing grandson autograph baseball on my mantle.
I want it over the other fence, though, Chris, not this fence.
1-1 the count to Smith as Caruth digs in. Catches the outside corner for strike 2. Caruth with 2 strikeouts on the day. Neither pitcher has offered up a walk. Whittaker has 5 strikeouts. Hit to the left side. Michelson
Tough
up
play.
to scoop. He throws to first, not in time. Nice job by Glad to knock it down. That could have been perhaps an extra base. And that was just a tough play for Michelson. A slow ball down the third baseline. He had to run, then make the long throw.
We give him a hit, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be an infield hit. You know, those are one of those plays too, and in throwing it, you always want to tell the younger players, hey, let it ride. You never know the older you get, but with Robbie Smith's speed at this level too, you know, sometimes eating it because it's such an unorthodox, hard throw for a third baseman to make. He throws that past. He gets 2 bases on this one. You know, he's probably hustling to third, but nice job of the first baseman to scoop it up on there.
Toss over to first to keep Smith alert. Lieberman at the plate.
Yeah, Caruth has got the base runners that now he's dialed in there.
This one driven to center. Lieberman does have a sac fly for an RBI to his credit. This time it's a fly out to left center for out number 2.
Yeah, Lieberman's 2 pitches here now and 2 pop outs. It was going to get a chance here. He's got a lot of potential for Waconia. You see him play in the outfield, but designated hitter, big lefty stick. They got a lot of lefties from Waconia. And again, Waconia hasn't seen a lot of left-handed pitching, but I bet you Waconia's left-handed sticks within that lineup is one of the more left-oriented groups of hitters that you're going to see here, at least on the 3A level.
Stoddard singled back in the 2nd inning and then was caught between first and second. Ended up getting thrown out at second. Takes that pitch for a strike. That'll even up the count at 1-1, 2 away here. In the bottom half of the 4th inning, Robbie Smith, the lone runner on first. 2-1.
And Chris, you were saying you have a lot of left-hand hitters there, and which really helps. It gives you a little extra step out of that box, and it does have that third base thing. When Michelson had a rough time, it gives him an extra step, and it's really hard.
Yeah, the leads are just about a step, maybe even 2 shorter for Waconia right now. They're not gambling.
To the third base side, Michelson knocks it down, throws to second, and it's in time for out number 3.
Nice play by Michelson there to keep it in front of him. It's hot corner there. Did a good job.
The 5-4 put out.
You'll see the nice play, bobbled it. He actually bobbled it twice. Got it in there in the throw, nice play. Barehanded that one, that's why he got that out.
That's
He
right.
didn't go to the mid, so
That's
went to
right.
the bare hand and did what you needed to do in the infield. There's young guys see that. Go bare hand on that one, get the out.
4-1 our score as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Hibbing up to bat next.
Finally shut you down in one of his innings there, Chris. I mean, there's Jay Wetzel giving his guy.
Back here at Target Field, Prep45.com, your home for the state baseball championships. 3A underway right now as we head to the top half of the fifth inning. Waconia leading Hibbing by a score of 4-1. Ryan Phelps here along with Chris Ohm and Rod Stone. First up for Hibbing, head to the bottom of the order, Will Dury, the sophomore, as he takes the first pitch in there for a strike from Whittaker.
Well, Rod, you talked about, maybe it was an inning ago, about a 7-inning game and how quick it goes. This is a big inning for Hibbing because if Waconia gets through 1, 2, 3, that fifth inning goes away. Then they got that middle of the order coming up in the sixth. If they could prolong this inning, which they're hoping for here, that would be huge for them right now. And I know that both teams know what it's like to come back from a deficit here, but this is a big inning that they don't want to get out of 1, 2, 3 for sure.
Correct, Chris. With this Dury here, he's a sophomore.
Right back to Whittaker. He'll field an underhand toss.
Very talented kid. He plays piano, sings, everything. He's a multi-sports athlete. Made some great plays for us this year. In fact, little ESPN shots almost, you know, horizontal shot, catches and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's a nice future for
Sounds like
baseball.
a young Rod Stone to me.
Oh!
Very talented.
Oh! Too many compliments. I don't know how to handle this.
Riley Versich to the plate with one away. As the Forest Lake team makes their way down into the visitors' dugout. They'll be taking the field here at 7 o'clock tonight to face Eden Prairie in the Class 4A championship game, which we will have right here at Prep 45. Versich to the shortstop. Schultz up and over to first for out number 2.
I was just going to say with Versich and not knowing much about Hibbing, Rod, but Waconia respected the bunt on that one. You saw Jake Hendricks take 2 steps up. And I think they respected the bunt more just with the situation called. You got to mix it up here a little bit, get something going. And, you know, that was good wood on that one, solid hit. But, you know, you saw Jake Hendricks come up there and had, you know, the possibility of a bunt in that scenario. And here you go right there. So that's baseball, right? They need to do something different, mix it up a little bit. Get somebody off their toes there.
I agree with you, Chris. So I talked about that about 2 innings ago when we were kind of mowing them down. They would do something else different here because
that ball by Caruth fair, fielded by Frederick, and he'll touch first for out number 3.
That was a little too quick.
Yeah, we just talked about that 1, 2, 3 inning. That's something that I think for Hibbing that might be a not good sign. You know, you're going to battle through. You're going to have 3, 4, 5 up, but you did not want to go 1, 2, 3, especially this late in the ball game.
So DeBoom will be the next batter when Hibbing comes to the plate again in the 6th. But we head to the bottom of the 5th for Waconia. They also will lead off with their 9th batter, Ethan Swanson. So both teams kind of at that same spot in the order, although the scorecard looks much different. 4 runs for Waconia on 6 hits. They have 3 errors and have left on only 1. For Hibbing, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they've left 4 on base. Yeah,
I'd like to say the couple errors there kind of hurt Hibbing here. And Cruz only got 49 pitches, so he's in good shape with that, you know, versus Whittaker. He's got a little 73. He's getting up to a little bit, but again, he's still got a lot left there, I think, too. But I really do like the pitch count. I'm an ex-coach of Little League, and I just love it. I just think it's good for the kids and good for the game. Keep playing longer and stuff like that.
Coaches are going to look at that, you know, just looking up at not only the pitch count, but the line that Ryan read right there. You know, Waconia is going to look at the errors right now. If you're doing a mid-game report, those 3 errors are haunting a little bit with that 1 run, and that was an error on Robbie Smith that eventually led to that run. But for Hibbing, you're looking at 4 left on base, not advancing those runners over. So each team's kind of got that ghost in the closet right now. So we'll see how it shakes out at the end of the game.
Ethan Swanson into the batter's box as Caruth toes the rubber. First pitch in there for a strike here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Even though these kids are number 9 hitters, I know we have 1, 2 at Dury there. They sure really something how they can still make the game, affect the game.
Yeah, both are sophomores too. Dury for Hibbing and Swanson for Waconia. Up and comers, you know, they'll be the guys that have to lean on the shoulders here coming up in the next few years.
Hit to third, Michelson fires to first for out number 1. It's nice, though, Swanson getting the ball in play, facing an 0-2 pitch. He's making the Blue Jackets work for out number 1.
Yeah, I'm sure that was he dug down and got that one. You know, as a pitcher, you don't want to be in a situation with 0-2 and put any wood on it. You want to put that ball outside or in the dirt, and Swanson, he got down and got that, so it's a good point, Ryan. You know, you never know, and with 0-2 hustling down, good things could happen, but nice play by the third baseman, get that first out.
Logelin is 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a run scored. That one back in the 3rd inning. That was the most recent run for Waconia in this one.
I think this is a pitcher going out to warm up.
Yep.
Oh.
I couldn't figure out what Stoddard was doing here, so we don't have a random Waconia going to replace a Hibbing center fielder move here, but
streaking fan,
I
perhaps.
thought they were putting him on second base just to get this game going.
I'll tell you what, for the amount of running that it took right there, I'd be out of the game already.
And he's locked out of the pen. He can't get in.
All the personnel and the Twins aren't here, so we have to fend for ourselves.
1-0 pitch inside. 2-0 now the count to Logelin. They got a catcher out there for him?
They do.
Oh, Chris is going to put on the mid, I guess. He's going to run out there.
Driven to left. Mattson back. It's going to be playable, but over his head. It'll drop safely. Rounding second is Logelin, heading for third, and he's in with a triple. A drive.
He got some good metal on that one there, I guess.
Sure did. Logelin, a 1-out triple here in the 5th.
Yeah, Logelin, you know, you get a chance here. If you're in the vicinity and throw him a fastball, he's going to make you pay on that one. So, you know, again, Caruth, great job out there commanding the ball on the mound. Just put that one right into the wheelhouse for Logelin, and we got a hold of that one. Caruth knew it, and he was already backing up third on that one. Bender sending him around, but Logelin, the Wayne State recruit for the Wildcats, sliding into third here and getting that Waconia crowd on the first base side pumped up.
Juice, 1 for 1. He's got a single. Also scored Logelin on a sac fly back in the 3rd inning. Takes first pitch strike, and now that'll even things up at 1-1. He's got a runner on third.
This is a good call by Hibbing to bring up the infield here. You know, they know that if this run gets in, that it's getting tough. So you see the infield up.
Popped up, foul territory. Glad tracking, he makes the catch for out number 2. That's a big out for the Jackets.
Sometimes you say the old adage there, when those long balls are hit home runs, it's those balls are pitched, not hit. You know, sometimes that happens. Like Chris, you were just saying, it was a kind of mistake sometime, but they'll come out of it, hopefully.
2 away and a runner on third for A.J. Frederick. He's got an RBI in the ball game.
Frederick's one of only 3 guys for the Cats that have played all the games this year. Jake Hendricks and Alex Logelin being the other 2, so they have 3 journeymen. 3 of the 6 seniors have played all the games here for the Cats. AJ has been one of those mainstays.
Driven to the gap. That's going to score a run. Knight's back to get it. Frederick rounding first, heading to second. He's going to try for 3. There's going to be a play. The throw to Michelson. Gets by him.
Come on, big fella. Get out that plow. Let's go. Got to make that standing up.
Lands on third base and has another RBI. And it's now 5-1 Waconia.
Ryan, I want to hear you say it. Are you marking that a triple or a double, and then whatever happened between that base and the other one?
I'm going to go triple.
You think so, huh?
Well, we'll see if they put an error up. They haven't yet.
No, they haven't.
The big fella got after that one. That was a good hit.
Driven to left. Mattson coming in. He's moving to his right. He's under it for out number 3. A couple of crushing blows for Waconia here in the 5th inning. They end up with 1. It's now a 5-1 ball game as we head to the 6th inning. We'll step away for a moment and return with more action here at Target Field in just a moment. Back here at Target Field, Ryan Phelps, Chris Ohm, Rod Stone, Class 3A state championship game. Waconia pitching. First pitch driven to left by DeBoom, and the DH is on with a leadoff single here in the top of the 6th. His Blue Jackets down by 4. It's 5-1 Waconia.
Nice bat in there for Zach. He took that first pitch, and himself as a pitcher, as a lefty, he knows what's going on up there, so he took that pitch and mastered into left field.
Like we were saying, Rod, you know, the 3, 4, 5 batters here are going to have to produce. Whittaker's settled. He's only faced in the longest inning 6 batters. So right now, DeBoom's leadoff single poses well for Hibbing if you're a Hibbing fan, because you're going to want to make sure that you prolong this inning. But again, you know, that last 1, 2, 3 inning with the 7-inning game, you got to produce here in high school baseball. You got to do it quickly.
Lamphere, the batter, he's the catcher. He's reached twice on errors. He actually scored Hibbing's only run of the game.
And I know the fans here in Hibbing are a little bit tense, a little bit hoping for another miracle, which hopefully.
Driven to left, back to make the catch is Swanson, and retreating back to first was DeBoom. There's one away.
It seems like Target Field's playing long for these high school players today. I watched Parker's Prairie hit. Minnehaha had 2 consecutive innings where they had a triple and then a triple with an error in the prior game.
Okay.
And it got over their head. And we talk about really good athletes out here, and they're running back to that 4-11 sign and getting triple. I mean, here, A.J. Frederick getting a triple, right? I mean, that's probably not his forte. I'm going to go on a limb and say it.
Yeah.
But he gets a triple. It's for some reason, I don't know what it is, if it's the placement, but definitely seems like it's playing long here today.
Driven to center by Glad. And lost in the sun by Stoddard. He was in the perfect position, and he kind of juked and jived there. He definitely lost that ball in the sunshine.
As a batter, you got to play that sun once in a while too, you know.
That's right.
That's that old Hibbing motion to play the sun move.
You taught him that, didn't you?
Yep. I want to hear that story when you were going up and telling him to play that sun on the line drive in future Target Field.
So second single of the game for Glad. And now Knipes at the plate with one away. This one's popped up trying to play the sun again, this time to the right side for Anderle. He's under it for the catch, and out number 2.
Hibbing guys are just getting under the ball here a little bit. You know, it's, again, you know, baseball is one of those games. You get the bounces, you get the hops, and when the batters, which Hibbing has been hot in this state tournament when they needed to be, you know, there's just too many pop-ups right now. They got to get that ball on the ground. Again, I wouldn't be surprised. I know they're down 5-1 with 4 runs here. You got to produce, get that ball on the turf here, make sure that, you know, throw a bunt in maybe every once in a while, but a lot of pop-ups for the Hibbing.
Dylan Mattson popped up.
Make them earn their route, you're saying there, Chris. You know, that's I agree.
He flew out to center, got a sacrifice on the play to score Lamphere back in the 4th inning. He's down in the count 0-1. Runners on first and second. They are DeBoom at second, Glad at first. 2 away here, top 6.
Well, if you're Hibbing, you're going to want to get back in this game, and it's going to have to be with, you know, hits, singles. They're not going to overpower Dillon Whittaker right now. He's in a groove. So if I'm Hibbing, I'm trying to, you know, dare I say, play a little small ball. You're going to have to start punching some out in the outfield here. Make Waconia throw the ball around. And they do have 3 errors here today. They settled down a little bit, but they're going to have to start putting some wood here on that ball.
Ball gets away from Logelin. Count is 3-1.
Got Zach moving the wrong way there on that catcher's. But I guess we need 5 runs, not 2. So
Dylan Mattson, the senior, as the hitters count. And he watches that one touch the outside corner for strike 2 and a full count. Whittaker pitching from the stretch on his 86th pitch of the ball game right here. Driven to right center, it's shallow, kind of in no man's land. Reaching up and making the catch is Justin Schultz. Juice gets the third out for Waconia here in the top of the 6th. A big play for the Wildcats to retire the Jackets here in the 6th inning. And now we head to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 4-run game, Waconia coming to bat. You talk about athletic players, just the athleticism overall. Really nice play, and I don't think anybody else had a play at that one. That would have dropped had Schultz not gotten back in time.
Yeah, that's a heck of an athletic play. We talked about these guys being multi-sport athletes. Rod talked about the Hibbing boys playing hockey, football, quarterback, Caruth. These guys doing it. Juice is one of those guys, too. We talked about he's going to go wrestle at Mankato State. He's got to make that play. Those are state championship quality plays. You got to make that play. And you're right, Ryan, that falls in. We're talking about a little momentum shift right there. Right. So big players come to the stage and make big plays. There's big players on this field for both teams, and Juice just did his job. Nice job by Schultz on that one.
Well, 25-0 for a reason.
Chris, you mentioned about the field here being so vast or big. We had 339 to left there. It seems like if you go to a park and see 339 anywhere else, it doesn't seem as far. But for some reason, it seems a lot farther here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It is weird. I don't know. And there's even a thing on the sheet here. All the umpires are affected by this big field here. And I don't know, as an official myself one time, I just think once the game starts, you kind of get into it, and no matter where you are, but. There might be a little bit of difference here. I don't know.
Maybe all those parks in Minnesota are fudging by 5 or 10 feet. And we got to go out there with a stick or something to figure that out. I think you're right.
That's probably it. Whittaker, the batter. Pitcher versus pitcher. And Caruth delivers a first pitch strike. Bottom 6, 5-1. Waconia with the bats in their hands and the lead. It's now 1-1 to Whittaker.
We were talking, when that kid ran out Swanson to do the warm-up pitch out there. It was actually the student manager. I was wondering, the catcher was throwing left-handed, and I just got a text from the trainer down there, said that the student manager just happened to have a left-handed catcher's mitt in his bag and brought it along. And sure enough, they sent him out there, and I couldn't figure out, like, who has it. First of all, the catcher's left-handed out there, so. It's the student manager, so he's out there doing double duty. I
saw him warming up we were back at the University of Minnesota Stadium. I said, is that left-hand catcher? Oh, is that ours?
That's foul. No, that's a long run for Chris to make. And he caught it.
Yeah!
Nice catch by a Waconia fan over there. A little souvenir to go home with, getting high fives from the crowd. Flips it to a youth player. There you go.
That's good.
That's what it's all about right there.
2-2 the count inside.
I always taught my wife, when these guys catch these balls and they throw them back on the field like that, I don't care if you're an opposing team and all that. I said, give it to a kid. Give it to a kid. They'd love the ball. Come on.
Caruth kicks and fires, full count, driven to shallow right field.
It's
in the sun. It's going to drop. And Whittaker reaches on a 3-2 pitch.
I bet you they do a re-entry here. I bet you'll see a pinch runner on this one, I'd imagine. Yeah, they're gonna go re-entry here. Yeah. Give an opportunity for somebody to come in. Yeah, that's a second baseman play there. That's a tough play. He lays out. Look at that. He lays out. That's an athletic play right there.
He was covering his eyes on his way over.
Is that Dury right there?
Dury, yes. He's made a few big successful plays like that, and he's just real athletic. Fun to watch.
Yep. Jane Vanderhoff for the Cats comes in. He's one of the two Vanderhoff twins, good football players there for Waconia. Both have come in situations where they needed some speed on the bases and produce. And actually in the state tournament, they both have been in big spots here where Waconia has needed it on the path.
Throw over to first as Robbie Smith. 2 for 2. He's had an error in the field of play, but he's 2 for 2 at the plate. He's had a nice afternoon so far for Waconia.
So one of the things right now, you see Mark Grunhofer, the third base coach, he's barking out the signs. Waconia does something very unorthodox, and I've only seen it one other place, and that's they all wear wristbands and they do numbers instead of doing signs. Okay. You don't see that a lot. So he'll call out something to the effect where he'll say, purple 150 or blue 520, and they all look down on the wristbands, and then instead of doing the the hat to arm steal, they're all wearing numbers.
The indicator, everything else that goes along with that. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's something they're trying to implement all the way through in Waconia baseball. You'll see some youth teams using it every once in a while, but boy, when it first started, you know, as the armchair fan, you look at it and go, what the heck is that all about? You know, you're doing this, but you can see him down there right now, and he's barking out numbers. The guys all look down, and on it, it has everything that you need: bunt, steal, scenarios, and whatever
That's
it is.
That's what they gave us these for here, see.
Yeah.
See, they're punching it there too, see, trying to punch it in. That's what we need.
0-2 the count to Robert Smith. Runner on first, Vanderhoff. Pinch running for Whittaker, the pitcher. And they took Whittaker's numbers down, regretfully. I was going to see what his final totals were. Somebody jumped the gun on that, I think.
Yeah, that's
1-2 the count.
Talking about Smith, he's one of the juniors that'll be coming back this year with in that starting lineup.
Again, fouled back.
Chris, your side. No.
Yep. I'm just waiting because I'm going to get an authentic grandson autograph on this until we get that ball up here. You know, get back to Robbie Smith, though. He clutched up in one of those big games when he needed to here against Marshall the other day when they got those runs. And, you know, what Waconia is prideful on right now in their 1 through 9 is it can come from anywhere. You know, I know 25-0 seems like you're on top of the chain, but in all the preseasons, everybody was kind of sleeping on Waconia, and that's what the players have been telling each other. You know, keep sleeping, and that's what they're saying. And boy, Robbie Smith, you know, he bats 6 in the order here, but came up with a big hit the other night. You can get it from anywhere in that 9 order for the Cats.
Pitch out, throw to first, not in time.
Nice little play there, almost successful.
Kruth is getting up there in pitch count, I got to believe, too. And, you know, one of the things that...
That one's hit the shallow right field and will drop. Very...
Little flare hits there.
Yeah, good job place hitting by Waconia today. They've had a couple of very hard hit balls, but they've had a couple of nice flares that have just landed in the right spot.
Well, I got Smith down for 3 hits today. I don't know what you guys have.
That's
3
what
for
I have
3,
too.
but
a double and 2 singles.
Isn't that what the baseball gods are all about? You know, the kid makes 2 errors. Nobody's jumping down his throat a little bit. He comes out 3 for 3. So, yeah, I was just going to say Cruz's got to be getting up there a little bit. He looks a little like he's laboring a little bit. We'll see if they're doing this as a defense. You know, I got to believe coaches out there, words of encouragement. And Rod, you could fill in here, but you know, you know these guys.
Yes, I think you just give him a little rest here and trying to refocus him and knowing what we have to do here. So it's
so still no outs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 75 pitches for Caruth as he's back on the rubber.
Like you say, even with the day's rest, they're pitching 116 or so last 3 games. You know, it's still a lot of pitches back then. So it's something that takes more than 3-4 days. You know.
Normally, conventional wisdom here, guys, is you're in a bunt situation, right? Lieberman, the big lefty DH. I gotta believe they're gonna try at some point, but he's one of those guys that swings away a lot. And that's to see if he's bunting right there. That's not a pickoff move. That's a bunt pitch defense right there. This will be interesting here. I don't know. Knowing Waconia, I'm not too sure he doesn't swing away.
He takes that one away. 1-0 the count.
You talked to a lot of guys in Waconia. Ross Lieberman has probably the most upside potential of kids in the underclassmen. He's a junior. Just an opportunity here for a player here to break through. Again, just another the great family in Waconia, an opportunity here. And he DHs for Anderley, and Anderley selfishly says, that's okay. I'm out there playing defense. So trying to put your best defense on the field and put your best hitters in the 9.
The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Oh. I think Jamin was ready to throw it
Yeah,
down there, but he lost the grip of the ball there.
Yeah, he was up quick, ready to rock. 2-1 the count to Lieberman. That pitch in there for strike 2.
Sometimes coaches will let guys that are big hitters like Lieberman take that first strike swing and then bunt them after that. And I was wondering maybe on that one if that was the case, but now you see him barking it out again here.
Yep.
It's more preventative.
The low outside pitch there too. That was going to be a tough.
Lieberman swings at it, knocks it foul as he's checking his card he's got in his back pocket.
Lieberman comes from a long line of Waconia, let's say Waconia Hall of Fame types. His grandpa is on the Hall of Fame board on the stadium in Waconia. His dad's really big into Waconia sports in town. And the fun thing about Ross here, he put the first dent in the scoreboard brand new this year. So Liebermans are doing a lot in baseball, just like everybody else there in Waconia.
The 2-2 pitch. Hit to the shortstop, scoop over to second for one. Dury over to first. Does not get the out. A run will score as Vanderhoff crosses. Lieberman stops at second. And it's now 6-1.
He'll go third on that one. They'll say he established first base here. I'm sure they'll make the call here because that ball ended up going over the top.
Yeah.
They're talking about it right now.
Yep, the umpires are talking. And he's not been awarded third yet.
Oh.
Looks like Lieberman is stuck at second.
Well, Waconia's in a position too, probably not to rattle anything, but umpire's right on that call.
Fouled off by Stoddard.
Hard hit ball, nice turn by the shortstop on that one. I thought he really did well. It just kind of a little too aggressive by the second baseman on the throw there.
Ball in the dirt. There's going to be a play at third. Perfect throw by the catcher, Lamphere. The tag made by Michelson for out number 2.
That's just a good baseball play both ways. You don't fault the Waconia kid. I mean, down angle on that one. You see the ball pop up, you go, but catcher right there. So, you know, Rod, you referenced it a number of times as a former coach.
Yes.
That's just a good baseball play, both teams.
So a 2-5
James been doing that all year
out.
long. He's throwing it. You'd be surprised when he throws that ball. We may be in a situation he's throwing down the second, and everybody's heart stops. But he's got such overflowing confidence in himself. It's fun to see, and he's going to be well missed next year, I guess.
It's the 84th pitch by Caruth. Catches the outside corner for strike 3. And the Wildcats are down here in the bottom half of the 6th. The Blue Jackets, one more chance. They trail 6-1 heading in to the top half of the 7th inning here in the Class 3A Finals. We've got the coverage right here on prep45.com. We'll have that inning for you in just a moment here at Target Field. Back here at Target Field, heading into the final inning, top 7 for the Hibbing Blue Jackets. They trail by 5 runs at 6-1, and Whittaker, the starting pitcher for Waconia, Chris, still in the ballgame.
Yeah, he's dialed in right now. Only 4 hits given up.
He driven that time just past Schultz.
And that's a great way for your Hibbing to start, too. And it's funny because the first thing I was going to say coming out of this, Ryan or Rod, it was maybe take a pitch here. You know, you need to prolong something, but Hibbing, listen, they got here on their bats, right? And they know what they need to do. Both these teams have come from behind. You start off the inning right there with a hit. That's what you need if you're a Hibbing fan.
That was Michelson. This is Dury.
It's at the bottom of the order here. It doesn't really matter, though, because they're, like I say, they know they're focused. And there we go.
Driven to the gap. This one could land. It's reached up and caught by Stoddard. A beautiful diving catch out in the gap in left center field.
That's going to get the Waconia fans off. I'll tell you what. That's what it's about. Stoddard right there. We were talking in the pregame with the coaches down with Waconia, and I said, what does Stoddard bring to the field for you? And you're going to see it right here in the replay. He covers a tremendous amount of ground. Dare I say Buxton-esque out there. When he gets that, he dives out. But, he hits that ball, and we all go, oh, here we go. Hibbing's in this game. But
is that a Stoddard? Is he a track man or what?
A football kid too.
Football,
so Stoddard,
okay.
He's looking to play baseball. He hasn't signed anywhere yet, but he's looking to play ball here, which would be the one of the 6 seniors going to play some football, baseball, or wrestling in college here.
We head to the top of the order for Riley Versich. Bounces one foul. It's now 0-2 after a first pitch strike.
But Dury there again, sophomore. I mean, both sophomores from Waconia and Hibbing right now. Future looks bright there. You can build around that type of atmosphere and get some wood on that bat. And just
right up the middle to the second baseman. Smith fields it at second for out number 1, but they couldn't get Versich at first. So the Jackets down to their final out.
A big sigh of relief from the Hibbing side, but that Waconia side wanted it right there.
Riley's pretty speedy there, and he beat that one out. Keep our hopes alive. And here's Carruth here up.
So pitcher versus pitcher with 1 out remaining. 2 down here in the top of the 7th as Waconia looks to wrap it up. First pitch high, 1-0.
If you're Hibbing, you're just going to have to put the bat on the ball, hope for some green somewhere, and keep this inning going with 2 outs.
Carruth fouls it off.
Both teams put their aces on the mound today. Carruth started strong too. The bats from Waconia unfortunately got to him, but Whittaker's been dialed in here. No walks by both pitchers here today.
Runner goes uncontested.
Uncontested.
Pitch is a strike. It's 1-2 to Carruth as Hibbing is down to their final strike.
Yeah, Waconia fans on their feet. They've traveled well here today. There's definitely a big contingency of purple and gold.
Whittaker kicks and fires just outside on Whittaker's 96th pitch of the ball game.
The contingency disapproves.
Whittaker from the stretch. And he catches the inside corner, and Waconia wraps up the perfect season with a state championship win 6-1 over Hibbing. A fitting end for Whittaker, who goes all 7, gave up 5 hits, just 1 run, and struck out 6, including the last batter of the ball game.
It was a good game. Waconia made some nice plays. We had a senior-laden team. It's kind of tough for Hibbing, but hopefully that we could come back and start over. We have a good nucleus starting over from next year, but good game for both teams.
I tell you, Stoddard, the defensive play of the game, that catch in center field, we'd still be playing the game, obviously, if that drops, and who knows where we're at. Just an outstanding catch on what was, I wouldn't say a sketchy defensive performance by Waconia, but certainly they had their errors. They had 3 of them on the ball game, and they came back with some great plays to make up for that, not only at the plate, but also some defensive plays as well.
Well, let me be the first to say that Hibbing should keep their heads high. I tell you what, they got here, they deserved it. What an outstanding coach team, young gentlemen in that tunnel, and they went out there and produced. But the Waconia Wildcats, just a little too much for them today. Undefeated season capping off what seems to be a culture shift in Waconia with baseball. One of their first state championships on a team sport, their first male state championship.
Terrific.
They've not had a lot of state champions in Waconia, but baseball town there is growing. The numbers are growing, brand new stadium, and we're proud of those Wildcats. So great teams here, great coach, just a tremendous amount of athletes on that field.
Yeah, congratulations to Waconia Wildcats. They, like you say, it's not an easy feat to go undefeated. As you know, it is. It is not. It is a very nice feather in their hat, man.
So Hibbing finishes the 2017 season with a record of 19-9, and we've been joined today by Chris Ohm and Rod Stone. Rod representing Hibbing and your history with the program throughout. Grandson playing today, and he had a nice performance as well. But your final thoughts, please, about the Jackets and their year. All right, Hibbing wraps up the season 19-9 on the year. The Waconia Wildcats 26-0, a perfect season, and the Class 3A state champions for 2017. Chris Ohm and Rod Stone joining me today. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Yeah,
thanks a lot.
Pleasure's mine, Rod. Nice to meet
Chris,
you.
You too.
We'll have the 4A championship game coming up next, Eden Prairie and Forest Lake, as we turn it over to the PA announcer, Dick Jonkowski, with the Wells Fargo All-Tournament team. We'll also have full audio of the award ceremonies for second place and, of course, the Waconia first place medals, which each player will get. It's been a pleasure, folks. Thank you for joining us here. Until next time, for Rod and Chris, my name is Ryan Phelps saying so long from Target Field.
Infielder Dillon Mattson. From Hibbing, outfielder pitcher Anthony Knipes. Waconia pitcher, infielder, and outfielder Dillon Whittaker. Waconia third baseman Jacob Hendricks. Waconia catcher Alex Loughlin. Wells Fargo Minnesota State High School League congratulates all members of the 2017 Class 3A All-Tournament team. Congratulations from Wells Fargo, the All-Tournament team. Presenting the awards from the Board of Directors, Joel Boyd, Eden Prairie, Betsy Anderson from Hopkins, Deb Pauly Jordan, Wade Johnson from Warren Alvarado in Oslo, Steve Beals from Montevideo, Jill Johnson from Waconia, and of course, Kevin Merkel. Silver medals and the second place trophy are awarded to Hibbing. Please step forward, accept your medal as your name is announced. Number 2, Riley Versich. Three, Austin Colden. 4, Riley Lund. 5, Will Dury. 6, Joe Boggio. 9, Austin Lasky. 10, Travis Caruth. 11, Dillon Mattson. 12, Cole Mamengay. 13, Austin Glad. 15, Andrew Michelson. 16, Anthony Knipes. 17, Hayden Westerberg. 20, Clark Sayer. 21, Zach DeBoom. 22, Jamin Lamphere. 24, Kobe Zagatz. Student manager, Matt Erickson. Assistant coach, Tim Zubik. Chris Zubik. Head coach, Jay Wetzel. Again, Waconia finishing their season with a record of 19 wins and 9 defeats. And now will the captains of the Hibbing squad please come forward to accept your second place trophy in Class 3A. The Hibbing Blue Jackets. Congratulations, Hibbing Blue Jackets. Gold medals on the championship trophy are awarded to the Waconia Wildcats. Again, please step forward, accept your medals as your name is announced. Number 2, Nolan Vanderhoff. 4, Jack Stoddard. 5, Alex Loughlin. 6, Jaden Vanderhoff. 7, Justin Schultz. 9, Jack Yankee. 10, Ben Yancey. 11, Charles Kinneberg. 12, Tom Kunze. 13, Robert Smith. 14, Ben Hester. 15, Jacob Hendricks. 16, Jake Anderley. 17, Ross Leverman. 18, Ethan Swanson. 19, Will Copey. 20, Dillon Whittaker. 24, AJ Frederick. Student manager, Derek Feltman. Student manager, Connor Sherwood. Assistant coach, Josh Sell. Assistant coach, Colin Bender. Head coach, Mark Grunhofer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Waconia Wildcats finishing 26 wins and no losses. The only undefeated team in the state. And now they picked it up already. They already have the championship trophy in 3A. How about that? The Waconia Wildcats. Thanks again to the fans from Hibbing and the fans from Waconia for attending today's games.